Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing below. I know if you've been listening to me for a while that you've heard me talk about feeling your real emotions. And so I'm going to share a story. It's really weird, very rare, but that if I hadn't known how I was really feeling as an individual, I would have gotten very confused about the event that happened and I wouldn't have been able to respond in the way that was needed. So, uh, a while ago, one of our family friends got very ill. And um, there's so many stories wrapped up into this story, but I'll just tell this one. And the person got very sick and was in hospice care and was leaving their body. Now, because I had gotten divorced a few years earlier, I wasn't friends with everybody anymore. So unfortunately, I wasn't visiting this person who was in hospice. I wasn't hanging out with their family because kind of wasn't welcomed, which is fine, right? It's just one of the side effects that occurs in on earth when there's a divorce. So I wasn't doing energy work for this person, even though I offered my services. And I knew because my children were friends with this person's children who was passing away. So I knew what was going on. And so I was always sending love and light, but not interfering as requested. One afternoon, I was home alone. I was in my room, completely content, like resting. And I think I was about to get up to do some laundry. And I walked into the bathroom and all of a sudden had this instantaneous feeling come over me that I was dying. And I mean, literally, like as if the universe in a way was telling me that I was dying. And I was like, wow, well, thank goodness I have a will. Maybe I need to sit down and talk to my kids. I mean, it was really intense, this feeling. And I wouldn't say it made me sad. It just made me curious. It did lower my energy just a little bit, but it made me very curious. And there was anxiety that I felt. And because I wasn't anxious moments before, I went, oh, I'm not feeling myself right now. I'm feeling someone else. And I was actually feeling this family friend. And as soon as I realized I was feeling this person, I said to this person, it was a woman, I said, I'm going to go down to your office, my office. I know you need some help. I'm going. So I had this mental telepathic conference with her. And when I got down to my office, she shared with me intuitively, mental telepathically, that she was having a really hard time leaving her body and she was ready to go and she wanted some help. And because she was like half in her body and half out of her body, she could see around her energetically who could be of help. And I was so gracious that she called upon me. Of course, I started crying because I know I say I know this person because I talk to her more now than I did when she was in a body. Um, I knew her and I knew her family, and I knew this was a very challenging time for all of them. But I was also just so happy that she asked for my help and so happy that I was aware of my real feelings. Because if I didn't have that awareness that I work on still today, because when you're an old soul and you're highly empathetic, you feel other people effortlessly. If you don't know how to feel yourself, you miss important information. You miss your own magic. You miss your own spirit guides guiding you to whatever it is in your best interest. But in that case, I also got clarity right away. Oh yeah, I'm not dying right now, which I went, okay, good. That's great. But somebody else is, and she needs my help. I wouldn't have had that clarity. I wouldn't have known to go down to my office. And I just imagined her laying on the massage table that was in my former office. And I laid hands on her and toned on her. I love to tone when I do energy work, and told her how much I loved her and helped her to disengage from her body, which I had done previously for people who were having a hard time leaving. And I would be requested to go into their hospice room and lay hands on them with their full knowledge of why I was there, of course. And this person who was dying, in that moment, who was, her energy was transported to my office so I could work on her and help her. She was a really intelligent, powerful woman. So you can see that sometimes it's really hard to leave your body when you're so good at manifesting and creating and you know how to get stuff done and you don't want to leave your family. But now you're at this critical point where your body's it's not going to stay, right? It's not it's no longer important for you to stay in your physical form. So I cried and laid hands on her and told her how much I loved her. And I heard, you know, within a few hours, she was able to fly away, which I'm so happy for her. Like how great she knew to come to me and how great I knew to get clear about my emotions, what I was really feeling so I could do my job. Now, feeling your real emotions is so incredibly critical, not just so that you can do your intuitive multisensory job, but so that you can make great, incredible choices. Because what your brain will tell you and what your intuition tells you are very different things. Logic is an interesting thing on the human world, and you only need it for really logical things like making sure I turn on the lights for my home office so that I don't record this. It looks good. That I put my lipstick on again before I made a second recording this morning, which this one is. But intuitive things, things that will bring you fulfillment and happiness and the incredible love that you want in your life and a healthy body, finances that make you feel free, all of the things that we desire, they're not going to be created from your logical mind because to have what you truly want is not a logical experience. It won't make sense to your logical mind. My logical mind, for the longest time with the current career I have now, thought it was just plain nuts, crazy, and gajibis. If I listened to my logical mind and all the people in my life at that time who used their logical minds, I would not have the career I have today. But I didn't do that. I followed the joy. I followed the happiness. I followed my own emotions. And every day it got better and better and more interesting and fun and financially rewarding. So it became a career. So knowing what you're feeling is critical, and your brain doesn't know that. In fact, your brain will create what I call mind-made emotions. Those are not real. They're not real emotions. Real emotions are calm. Mind-made emotions, because most people think fearful thoughts that then they create emotions for, and we're like, you know, those are mind-made emotions. Real emotions are calm. Even if someone is feeling authentically sad or angry, there's a calmness and an observational quality to the authentic event that they're having. So I implore you to get out of your beautiful brain, wiggle your toes, sit in the lower half of your body. And once you feel your presence there, just, it's almost like, it's like the rest of you becomes kind of quiet and the lower half of you, you just sense it more. Like I'm really sensing the weight of my slipper on my foot and I'm sitting in a high stool. So it's really weighted on the top of my foot and I'm allowing myself to really be present with that. That's part of my present moment. I'm wearing slippers. I'm sitting in a chair. I have clothes on. This is your present moment. Become present with it and feel it. And then you will engage with your emotions. And as you start to feel your body, all you have to do is simply ask internally or out loud, please express to me whatever is in my highest good about what I'm really feeling so that you can get into your real, authentic emotions. And it's critical for all the things I just mentioned, but also intuition is translated best from you knowing what you're feeling so that when you see something or hear something, you go to what you feel about it, not what you think, but what you feel about it, because that's where the translation is. I hope this is helpful. I'm really grateful that I was able to help that person cross over. And I'm so glad we're friends, you know, again and more in the non-physical realm. I'm grateful for all the non-physical people who help me every day and make my life brighter and more delightful. And I'm grateful for all of you too. Have a good day. Bye-bye.